I guess the time has come, yes. We'll be having lawyer Caitlin is coming up. So hang tight, okay? Yes, indeed. We're coming up live on Concrete Media. You got questions, we have answers. Yes, I think so. Yes, so we wait for Caitlin Hayes. Oh. So we live and direct. Let me see. For listening public, we'll have questions for the lawyer today. And we'll be able to speak on it. Yes, for real. Yes, man. Hmm. Maybe I should take some questions until she comes. Hmm. Okay, Lynn Hayes is running a little late. Yeah. Indeed, here comes the one and only Caitlin Hayes.
Ta-da! What's up, New York? I miss y'all. I cannot wait for the warm weather to come, and
Oh
we're gonna
my
do
God.
Legally Wild on the steps of the Manhattan courthouses, and we are gonna do a real live Q&A, and that is what I'm most eager for. I cannot wait for that. So this is all just a test, kids. It's all just a test, and we're gonna iron it out. But ultimately, I would like to create an environment of communication, and there's a lot of great lawyers doing this. There's a lot of people to build upon, so we can empower ourselves with rights and opportunities, take advantage of some of the laws that are in play right now. I heard something about we get free employees paid by New York City for the summer, and some of those, or most of those, we're going to be in the area of internships or student working, where we can actually utilize gifts of mentorship and actually inspire activities of growth. I think that's what we all got to be focused on, is growth and expansion and opportunities, and that's what I'm all about. So I'm still practicing criminal defense. We know this. Empire State Arrest. Let's go. But there's other things to do, other things to brew. So I'm just going to be open to opportunities.
Right. Sounds good to me. We need all that. Open up. Open.
Thanks, Michael. When is one? We're going to have so much fun. I want to go to Union Square. I want to go to Washington State Park. We're going to have like a real fun Legally Wild. Like, I want to come. I miss New York too much. It's not even right. It's not right. I got to go chill out.
It's funny. It's funny because I said, you're a woman of so much, let me say hats, even not see one on your head, but but you participate in different things. So a lot of people probably saying, what you mean legally wild and so on and so forth. But you are also a dancer. I mean, I don't know if you call yourself a dancer, but I see you.
What is it? No, you know what? A true dancer, what we do is
Yes,
we are very versed in the art of stopping time and space. And
yes.
real dancers understand
Mhm,
that opportunity when they're in their own zone and you stop your own time and space. And then when you get the feedback
mhm.
and the hindsight, and you can really recognizance that you've actually drawn other people out of this time space continuum. And I've done a lot of work, and
Yes,
I make a lot of artwork in this area as well, and I find a lot of opportunity in that. And so I'm grateful that I was illegally arrested 4 times in Connecticut while I was doing criminal defense. That was so fucking cool
oh my God.
because it's been such good therapy. But I need to get around people, regular people, and explore some of these artistic, creative inspirations that I have as well. So I'm finding my homeostasis. I'm finding my joy in actualizing my legal skills. That's been really joyful for me. People
Yes,
don't know, like, learn your rights, read about the law. Like, you're going to have satisfaction. It
yes,
gives you satisfaction because
yes.
once you open your mind and I was just talking to my daughter who's going to be college, what, a couple few years, but not, is that you have to develop your intellect. It is the seat of your soul.
Mm-hmm.
And look, all these Kimmy wanted to be a lawyer. Oh, Kimmy wanted to be a lawyer. And now she all up in the files, bitch. You want to be a lawyer because all the lawyers gonna sue the shit out of you, bitch. I don't know. Maybe you gotta defend yourself. I don't know. But look like a lot of money on the table. More important. Don't these kids, don't these girls need a role model? $1 billion Bambi, the Billionaire Law Girls Club. Don't you think? Don't you see the studies that women and girls that are empowered with
Mm-hmm.
confidence are much less likely to be targeted by these psychopathic motherfuckers? Hello. So empowering girls with their rights
This
and
is
giving
this
them
is
a
a
sense of
bad
confidence
lawyer.
in themselves actually fortifies them so
Yes.
they know how to deal with these people, and with the grace of God no longer vibrated on those energy fields where that's even something that we're going to deal with. That's the dichotomy of the world. That's why people are going to go this way and we're going to go this way because we're going to make something. We're going to focus on what we have control over. We're going to do our energy field. We're going to make our art. We're going to do our work.
All right.
And we're not going to get involved in this bullshit. Bye-bye. We got to see y'all. The dust seep that you came from. See y'all. So I want to just be in that energy right now, and I want to
Yeah.
focus on that energy and expand in the energy for myself and hold that space too, because I know what people go through. No one going to tell me nothing. I know. All right, I already know. No, don't get me wrong. I'm always surprised. There's always some new shit that come around that I never even saw. But as a rule of thumb, I've been exposed to a lot of dysfunctions and a lot of and functionality in the sense of we know there are rules, and if you apply the law and you apply the rules, you find recourse,
Mm-hmm.
and that's usually what it's supposed to be. But as we're finding, as we've seen, it turns out perhaps there's a bit more corruptive intent than we want to acknowledge. And at the end of the day, why
Corruption
they
is everywhere.
say that culture, that politics comes from culture, comes from social culture, from the vibe on the streets, from what they talk about on the streets, from New York City. Because I already know what I did, Michael.
Yes.
I'm
Yes,
going
sir.
to be governor of Connecticut. I made that decision already, right? I'm going to be governor. So here's what happened. I saw Mondami with the landlord building, and then I saw Miss Letisa with the landlord building, and then I saw William Tong in Connecticut with the landlord building. And New York, I really respect in New York. I do my job in New York. I don't vote in New York. I can't get involved in that because I don't live there. I don't vote there, but I'm interested in the areas of the criminal area of defense and discovery,
Right.
and veteran rights. But I'm not a voter in New York, so I'm not gonna be all
Right.
up in that shit. But in any event, I called my attorney general in Connecticut though, and I told him, listen, I practice in New York, and so I'm gonna know what you do 10 steps before you know what you're gonna do. Because that's what happens. It's all when you're going with the machines of the Republican or the Democrat, they operate under these fixtures of this is what you gotta do, and this is what you gotta do, and they organize their blue law bullshit, their blue wall, so that they can get away with all their lies and all their crimes. That's why I'm going to be governor on a kid's first ticket. We did this 4 years ago, and I got arrested 4 times because of this. And now I don't care because I learned criminal defense now, so they cannot do that shit again to me. In fact, they did it again this past July. And because I learned all my rights, they had to let me go without fingerprinting me. Ha ha. So that's what
But
education is
I
power.
know you have a kick out of that whole thing. It's like some leaders, though you're a lawyer, and some leaders, even in the political arena, a lot of things happen.
No, my
So,
family they were attempting to traffic me and my family for sure.
mm.
We were victims of attempted trafficking, sir. For sure. No, you laughing. I'm not laughing,
It
Michael.
sounds
I'm not
funny.
laughing,
Yeah,
Michael.
it
It's
sounds
not
funny
funny.
because
And
it
then you
is.
look at Connecticut, got all this fucking vibe of trafficking. There was just an NBC Connecticut report of the rampant trafficking in Connecticut. So no, I'm all on that. I'm all on that
Yeah,
area.
yeah.
No, I'm 100% assured
It's
that
crazy.
they
It's
they absolutely created an environment and they had intentions, and I had a risk. I had to fucking make a police report in a neighboring city from Connecticut just not so long ago because they were telling me they got my DNA and shit. Talk about, I tell you, bitch, what? I told the fucking New York cops, I said, yo, Connecticut's trying to make me a joke like them. Yo, Michael, I told them.
all right. So don't curse too much, okay? Don't curse too much.
Is that
Yes.
they illegally crossed border many times, and they illegally exerted that control in order to stop the mission, and I'm not involved with that trajectory
I
anymore.
apologize for any.
I'm sorry if I offended someone by cursing. If I did, I'm
No,
so
it's okay.
sorry.
It's okay.
I didn't mean to. So I didn't mean to curse
Yeah,
to you, but it was just
go
like
easy, go easy.
outrageous to me that I had to make a report in a
I
different
know you have
state
lots
about
of
another
life.
state,
Yeah.
and whatever the case may be.
Right.
So
Right.
in any event, the opportunity exists for finding the avenue of conscious change.
Mm-hmm.
Conscious change and,
Yes.
and divorced from the parties.
Yes. Let's
Completely
focus on
divorced
that.
from both parties. I think both parties are the problem. And I think that finding a solution is only in the inner way of finding the nourishment of your own self first and foremost, and focus on your inner state and your inner self.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most important. Any leader that's not trying to tell you to become a better person, they're just trying to siphon you. And I think we've all learned that now. I think we all should have absolutely learned that right now by all the vested interest in the corporations that you've been profiting, that have been profited from your money. I think it's very clear to say that at this point, those interests have not been for your betterment of your development. I think we could all fairly say that, right, Michael? I think we can conclude that at the very least. So
Absolutely.
finding an opportunity that I want to be in my zone of excellence where I'm living my truth so that I can hold the space for other people to live their truth. And I think that's the most important opportunity of leadership that I could think, because I'm not going to I can't predict what people do. I can't
Yes.
predict what people do. Even if I give them advice, I still can't dictate how they're going to behave.
Yeah.
So I understand that to such a degree that I don't want to do that. I want to create a space where people can make their own decisions that are good for them, right? Based on evidence and based on desire to get better and based on the evolution of your psyche, what you want to do, because it's very clear that there's a control system around you, right, Michael? I mean, that's very clear.
Yes.
So how do you break free from that control system as you activate your own inner state, your own inner state, your own inner body, your own inner reality? So that's where I find it interesting in my spiritual work and my legal work, and of course the dance and the art and the poetry, but where you come into
Give me a breakdown of your spiritual work.
I haven't done the spiritual work
Yeah.
beyond more living it as of late.
Yeah. Okay. So give me
But
a
I
quick.
do write a lot of poetry,
Mm-hmm.
and I put that a lot in the spiritual lens. That's how I
Mm-hmm.
process a lot of my actual life. But in terms of opening up
Right,
a
right.
space of doing more, I have a lot of Facebook groups that I haven't done any activity on for some time. And I have some programs and some courses that I have to organize to be able to bring
Yeah.
to market. But the truth of the matter is that I've been going through so much evolution from these past three
Mm-hmm.
years. And I really, really went to law school and I really believed a lot of stuff. And I drank all the Kool-Aid. I drank all the Kool-Aid. And
Yeah, it's tough
as
time.
you go through, and that's why people go through these things now, and they go through their psychosis about things that have been exposed. I've gone through my
Yeah.
own recognizances over the years of different experiences that I had thought were this way because it said this and they lied. And then you get
Mm-hmm.
triggered and then you get confused and you don't know what else to believe. So I don't want to be in that, oh, I want to gas you up era. I want to be in it. You need to find your own discernment era. I want to be in it. You need to find yourself and find out what's right for you, what's not right for you, and take action steps on cultivating what is right for you and getting what is not right for you away from you. Yes, sometimes through spiritual practices. There's many practices to do. You can exercise your rights in your energy field, and you can activate your protection, which are things that are very important tools to know in your life. But it's also about what are you engaging with, and how do you find a way to divorce yourself from the triggers. Because then when you get to criminal court, you're in criminal court because something evolved from really a
Yeah.
trigger. You started from childhood sometimes with people, and then you're going all the way up because you haven't been able to resolve it on the other level.
Yes.
So ultimately, I'd like to be part of the solutions more than cleaning up the problems, I guess, ultimately. Right? I'd like to help people at
Mm-hmm.
their source. I think it could save a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can all save a lot of time if we try to get that way. Other than that, these are important ways to finagle ourselves out of this system that doesn't really benefit our psyche or our soul. It's really when you get divorced from it, like, Michael, you go to church, you're a part of communities.
Yeah.
When you're in part of communities and
Mm-hmm.
you're outside of the rigmarole, then you can feel the energy and you feel that vortex and you feel that flow.
Right, right, right. You have to be spirited to do things at times, isn't it? Let me ask you, because lives represent, is serve as a representation for a client of, the mass of people or people to whom they may concern. Is it a difficult job in your own? Because everybody gonna have, you know, we all go to different jobs, yes? And a lot of us sometimes say, oh, I should be a lawyer, I should be a doctor, I should be a nurse, I should be a teacher, I should be. But when we get the job, we realize it's not just wanna be. It's now you have to pedal into what you become, are trained for, right? An engineer and all of that stuff, whatever the case may be. You have to fix these problems, right? How tough is it being in you? There are sweet moments and there are tough moments. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Well, sure. And I
Way of
want to
it.
say that also I've never been confined because after law school, my mother died. So I was not a lawyer for like 7 years. Then I was a lawyer. Then COVID happened.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had the children home. So I resigned from being a lawyer because I was being a mom. And so I never feel restricted by it. But there's being a lawyer of my ilk, of the way that I am a lawyer.
Yes,
There's the only
yes.
way to be like this is if you have a real covenant with God. The other way, you would never do it. You would never do it. I would never do what I did or go through all that I went through if I didn't believe that, if I didn't feel like God was telling me to do it, because I was so emphatic about international human rights and war crimes and this and that. It didn't even make any sense. It didn't make it. I don't really
Mm,
feel like I had a choice. So I think it's like those kind of situations, you really have a passion that's so overwhelming. You really have no choice. But there's a burden to that. There's obviously a heavy burden to that because then you really
mm-hmm.
lose your choice, because if you don't get to the bottom of it, your mind won't stop. So you have to keep going.
Right.
So, there was a take whole portions of my life with my intellect and my goals. But thankfully, at this point, I've developed my level of expertise where I've satiated my intellect.
Yes.
But itself, the job is very challenging. It's a very, very challenging job for many, many multitude of issues and reasons, not just because of the personalities and the rules, but because of some of the underlying politics at play.
Right.
So it's
Right.
really better to avoid the cops and try to come to this idea that we should have a utopian society where there's no cops and no criminals. I think I'm interested to talk about that more going forward in my life
Talk about it.
because
Let's dive into it.
the
Let,
sameness of it is just
all right. Let's talk about the criminals first. There should be no criminals.
those accused of crimes, Michael.
Yeah. But remember, though you might be accused, are you really? You're not guilty until otherwise. Yes, because
Say that again.
people could put false claim on you, right?
Like defamation? Oh no, for criminal. Right. Well, that's correct. Sure.
Yeah.
There's
How
many
you deal
many
with that
reasons
when you have a
where.
society that people will label you, even saying that you did this something. For
Well,
example,
sometimes the criminal justice system is weaponized, and we all know that. And you have civil silver bullet divorces too. You hear people just call the police, and then they get the kids, and then they go to family court that way. Meaning that they call charges against their spouse in order to hasten a custody arrangement. There's a lot of abuse of the criminal justice system. I think we all are aware of that. I think there's also been some good obvious uses of the criminal justice system at the state of where consciousness is.
mm-hmm.
But I think we have to have an evolutionary outlook towards where we want to go with it.
Because a lot of people say, I'm going to go to court. When they go to court, it's a different thing because they face the reality of the question, the cross examination, and all of these things. And you probably think that a lot of people think a trial gonna be just 3 seconds, So okay, I want to lock up this person, or I want to that, and you're there wasting time too, and drag out. You realize you're failing too because in my book I say lawyers better than liars, yes, and you have a defense case, but you could also, you could be an accused, but you still get off. It don't mean that you're gonna be dumping the cell for the rest of your life as well. People might wish, you know what I mean? So
You don't know, you could do whatever you want. You could still get convicted. And you could still go on appeal. You just saw Megan Thee Stallion. You didn't see that? Did you see that? Did you just see that in the press, Megan Thee Stallion, about the person that was convicted and was denied appeal? I don't know.
follow the whole thing, but
All I'm saying is that I've seen a lot of things,
mm-hmm.
and it's very important in my experience
Mm-hmm.
to take a case by case approach.
Yes.
And you have to understand the moving parts in a multitude of layers, and you have to just charge forward and do the best you can as a lawyer. But it's not without deep effect, and it's not without deep consequence. It's not without, responsibility. So I take that very seriously. My job. I take my job very seriously.
Yes.
And I understand that. But I've seen the other side. These are so. I have a lot of stories. We'll do that another night. I have to get the kids ready for school tomorrow, so I have to wrap it up soon.
Yeah.
There's no questions now, but hopefully next time there'll be questions.
Because we're just getting into the vibes and things, but we're definitely building, and so people will be asking questions, and we'll
I hope so.
We're not so consistent in what we're doing. However, we'll be right. Indeed, I want to really thank you for coming on, taking your time. I know you have, everybody has a little thing to do and all of that stuff, but I appreciate your time coming in because regardless, time is of the essence. Time is very important, and I want to thank you personally. How can people get in touch with you? Because we put information, but we still have to talk about it regardless. Yes.
Sure. EmpireStateArrest.com. 914-719-6945. At Caitlin Hayes Law 2, you'll see that there. And if you guys have a criminal law issue and want to do something, okay, but I want to do back into my business area of law too. So I'm going to talk about that too, entrepreneurship and things like that.
There's a question. There's a question on the board here for you.
Let's see. Is in the comments?
Yes.
Hmm.
What field of law or you rather? Yeah.
Tell
What?
them criminal defense. I can't get in there.
Yeah. No. Oh, you can you see it on the screen?
I
The
can see
question.
it, but I can't get in there.
No, you don't have to get in there. It's on the screen. That's it. Just answer that. Yeah, that's fine. Mm-hmm. That's a question for you. Okay. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the
I
question is
just have to sign into the YouTube because I didn't yet. So let me do that.
okay, okay. All right. So we're on defense. She's a defense lawyer and criminal defense lawyer. I think I can answer that question. Criminal defense lawyer, one and only attorney at law, Caitlin Hayes. Did I say it right?
Yes. Tell her that because it won't let me sign in. Maybe because
That's okay. You could speak to her directly. She's listening. People are on the live listening to you right there, live and direct. Yes, indeed.
exactly right. Okay. Right. So criminal defense, I've done a lot of different areas of practice. I've been practicing for 14 years. So I've done also matrimonial law over the years. But I'm practicing criminal defense and I'm really enjoying that practice area. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited about opportunities there with the veterans. So if there's veterans that are arrested, I do appreciate a specialty in that area. And also entrepreneurship. I want to do my entrepreneurship small business advisory again. That's what I would like to help people empower themselves
Mm-hmm.
because, there's going to be a lot of opportunity for that.
Right, right, right. I see they're opening up and oh, by the way, this might be out of your jurisdiction, however, but common sense law. I heard they say they're gonna start to um for those potholes and all that stuff in the road, they're gonna compensate the drivers, them people, the owner vehicle that because so much potholes in the road, it's crazy. So they will be compensating the drivers in New York City, right?
I'm not familiar with that. I'm not familiar with that, but I'm sure there's a lot of lawsuits there.
Yeah, somebody was telling
I'm
me
sure there
earlier
are.
they follow the
So
new.
I'm going to see you next time. So let me know. Hopefully, we'll do it next Sunday.
Absolutely, absolutely. So nice to have you all the time.
My
Appreciate
pleasure.
it.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you. See you soon.
See you guys next time. Bye.
Bye bye. Indeed, that was Caitlin A's law. You know, she's not outlaw. She's just law. Yeah, Caitlin Hayes. Yeah, and of course, everybody deal with matters differently, but the most important thing is when you really tackle the problem inside the courthouse and get the job done. Yes, most importantly, and thing like that. But I want to thank you all for coming on. It's Concrete Media. It's Pinchy Clarke. Okay, and I hope this was much valuable information for you. And I want to appreciate you joining us. And of course, for those who will be seeing the clip further daytime. All right, we're just building up, so we're getting warm. All right, see you soon. Bye bye. All right, thank you.